What's going on, crime fighters? It's your boy Knight,
And I'm Logan.
and welcome back to the Film Cave, your one-stop shop to any and all things film and entertainment.
With a little bit extra on the side from the Knight and I.
Goddamn right, we got a good show today. I'd like to think so.
We have a packed show, we have this is a good week. This is the beginning of a great time in our lives. It is the first week of spoiler talk for Wandavision.
Yes,
but we'll get to that much later in the show.
Oh, we damn sure will, because we are both quite excited, to say the least, I'm sure.
Yes.
But before we get into it, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. You definitely will be watching this on playback. So again, thank you for stopping on by us and taking some time out of your oh so busy day to hang out with us. It means, a lot. Just warms my heart. But if you're new, welcome. Consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. We're getting ready to softly adjust this show into live again. I have an official date. February 26th is when that strike ends. So cool. I found that out.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I cannot wait. So we have a lot of amazing things coming here to the channel, as well as Logan Swish. His will be posted in the description box below.
Thank you.
So hit that up, guys. You'll regret it. All right. Onward with the show. Me and Logan are big ass nerds. Yes, we are. We love the world of film and entertainment. Obviously, that's what this show thrives on. But we like to talk about some other shit here and there that just might be a little off topic. Some may stay in there. But this is our Out There in the World segment. And we have a few things to talk about, but Logan, per usual, do you want to lead the charge, or do you have anything you'd like to discuss?
Off the top of my head, I really am kind of drawing a blank on anything. I guess happy inauguration day to my boy Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Yes.
That I'll say that out there in the world, that is the biggest topic for out there in the world, I think.
That is the biggest. That's a very good point. By the time this video goes up, it will be inauguration day.
We're filming this Tuesday night, but it's Wednesday.
Right.
We're finally moving on.
I'm hoping, I don't want to get too crazy into this, but I'm hoping tomorrow we don't get some news of some crazy shit. I'm hoping inauguration just goes beautifully. Like, Biden and Harris need to be surrounded by like 50-foot bulletproof plexiglass all the way around the fucking state, like full guarded. I just hope nothing goes. That's why I'm not gonna watch it live. I don't want to. I'm kind of nervous, so I'm just gonna kind of ride with it.
I'm with you. It's terrible that I have to be nervous about that, but I actually do. I would like to think that people aren't that stupid, but they obviously are. So it sucks. It's a shitty place to be in, but this is hopefully the beginning of something new. So,
and hopefully Hickory, Dickory, and fucking Doc stay home. I don't have to worry about anything. But we'll see. But all right, so on to more lighter news. So, man, oh man, these Nets are looking pretty fucking good. They're looking pretty fucking good, man.
Oh yeah?
Yes, it makes me happy, but worried at the same time, because Durant and Harden are gelling so fucking well, as well with the rest of the team. Kyrie makes me so nervous.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
Nervous. I'm like, I think he's back now because he's available now on 2K, which fuck you 2K for making the game so goddamn realistic. I'm trying to play Xbox, not be in real life still. But so I think he's back, but Kyrie makes me really fucking nervous now. I hope he gets his shit together. I hope he shuts the fuck up and can gel really well with this, because Harden and Durant are fucking coasting right now. They just played the Bucks yesterday. My God, that game was sexy as fuck. Like, that's gonna be an Eastern final, like, for real.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That shit was sexy, and I was like, oh my God. So it went down to the wire, but then KD just took over. I was like, okay, that's why it's your team, motherfucker. But yeah, so that's great, and I'm excited for that.
I'm right there with you. It's one of those things, they should be, and they are fucking unstoppable. I mean, it is terrifying. Because also Harden definitely like played people like did you see the pictures where it's like he was fat and then all of a sudden he shows up in Brooklyn and he's looking thin,
Right.
he's ready to go, drops a triple double.
Right. Both games.
Yeah,
Both
I mean,
games.
just absolutely, and I mean, and obviously he looks happy as shit, you know.
Oh
But
yeah.
it is one of those things that's funny. The better choice, I think, for him, or not even for him, but like, I'm very surprised that Philly didn't get a deal done, getting rid of Ben Simmons for, but Ben Simmons is so not the player. Like, Joel Embiid needs a Harden. He needs somebody that can shoot.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting there going, like, first thing I saw that was hilarious was, now go ahead and trade Kyrie to the Wizards for Russell Westbrook and get the OKC team back together. No, it was just funny. It was funny.
Oh my god.
No, I thought it was hilarious because it is funny that they could do that now.
Right.
Harden has now played with both of them on another team, but also I could see somehow, some way them trying to get, because also Kyrie with Joel makes sense. So I like having Ben Simmons around with KD and Harden works. You know, they don't need another shooter. They've got the two best shooters in the league besides Steph, and Clay's out. So, I mean, I saw, and, you know, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Brooklyn would lose a lot of PR because Kyrie's from that area. He went there for a reason. That was his, you know, he was the one that chose that first. But also, I don't know if he deserves much, you know, good graces, you know, with how he's been acting. So kind of interesting, but nah, man, they are going absolutely ham. I'm going to be very interested to see what they do when they're all three together. They're saying tomorrow against Cleveland is what it's looking like for his debut back, and that's a good challenge. And yeah, that's a good team to go against to kind of figure things out, because they could fuck up and still absolutely blow them out.
Right.
And it's Kyrie going back to a team that he, you know, won a championship for, so it could be some good things still in terms of storylines. But yeah, man, I'm interested to see what they're all three going to look like. That's for sure.
Yeah, same. Get your shit together, Kyrie. I know you're watching this, so yeah.
Definitely Phil came Fab.
Right. Right. But yeah, so Nets looking good, so that makes me very, very happy.
Sure.
Now, another drop that happened, we won't get into it because it's not that big in terms of like showing it and all that. But we finally have some fucking life from the Mortal Kombat movie. This thing fucking exists. I'm so shocked and surprised. I just thought it was bullshit. I was like, hey, we're just gonna hey, Mortal Kombat tease, haha, JK, because this is the worst marketed fucking mainstream movie in existence ever.
Yeah. So far, at least.
Right,
Yeah.
so far. This
Yeah.
bitch comes out in April. We have yet to see a fucking anything in motion outside of the new HBO.
Shows that one shot of like
Just Sub-Zero. Like really? Give me a trailer. Come on. Because
I'm with you.
am I excited for this movie? I don't know. Because they're clearly going for more lesser known, not many big actors. Some of the casting for the roles, I'm like, I really don't give a fuck about. So I'm like, nothing's engaged me with that yet. Only one that's cool is I'm gonna chop up his name and I forget. I'm not even gonna try to attempt it. But the badass who plays Scorpion and Joe Towsome as Sub-Zero, those are the two castings. That's arguably the biggest motherfuckers in the movie, which I'm here for. But Sonya Blade, I'm like, huh? Kano, I'm like, huh? Jax, I'm like, huh? Like, I'm just like, sure. Apparently they got Steve Harvey in this bitch. Trying to do this.
Those memes were hilarious, by the way.
Yeah,
he
they
looks
very hilarious.
He looks like a young Steve Harvey going ham.
He does. He went from Supergirl to fucking Jax. But Michael Jai White is sitting right in front of you. But
I am with you. This is one of those things. I'm excited for it, but I don't have a reason to be excited for it besides the fact that, hey, there's a Mortal Kombat movie coming out.
Right. And James Wan produced it. That's my only saving grace is James Wan.
Sure.
That's it.
You know, because they've even come out and said, you know, this is going to be gruesome. The fatalities are going to be insane. That's not the kind of thing that gets me incredibly excited. That's like a horror movie saying, you know, we've got the most the most kills and the most bloody shit. I'm like, okay, anybody can do that, you know. So that tells me that Mortal Kombat's got a good budget. They're going to do a lot of CG with crazy fatalities. Great.
Let's hope that they do.
And you know, but it's still, I want to care about the movie. I want the movie to be a good movie. I want to watch it more than once, basically. So, you know, do these pictures do anything for me beyond what I already was? No. But I need a trailer, and I don't only need a trailer, I need an R-rated, you know, red band trailer.
Yeah, that's the only appropriate way to do a Mortal Kombat trailer.
You know, it's a thing where, you know, I remember with Deadpool, you know, that was like the last one that was a big R-rated, you know, high-budget movie that they had a massive Deadpool's marketing campaign, the first one especially, was like the greatest marketing
thing ever.
And so they had many trailers, and some were green, some were red. You know, the main ones were red, obviously, and that could work because they were cutting things and, you know, whatever, but they were out there and you could watch them. If we were doing reactions, that's what we would react to, is the red band. Green band is not an option here, I don't think. With how terrible the marketing's been, they need to show people what this is about.
This trailer needs to get us fucking hard and shit. Like, this trailer needs to blow our minds.
No,
like,
for sure. It needs to hit everything. You need to go for nostalgia. You need to show off everyone, and then you need to show off the effects, and then, you know, end it with a crazy fatality. Obviously, if you're killing main characters, let's not spoil that, please. But do a fatality on some random motherfucker that is the most gruesome shit you've ever seen, and let it be badass, and that be the end of a crazy good trailer before that. It will save the marketing. It will save the movie.
The bitch comes on in April. Just give us one fucking trailer. That's it. Just one trailer. We don't need 2 or 3. Just give us one. Boom. We're set. We're ready. Cool. Like, Mortal Kombat is something. That's a movie I'm cool with seeing at home. I don't need to see that shit on the big screen. So I'm like, do that one trailer, cool, get a hype. And also Lewis Tanner's in there. He's pretty damn awesome as a new random character. So I'm like, okay, intriguing.
Sure.
But I did see something that the guy who plays Liu Kang in the movie, I forget his name. I went through his Instagram yesterday, and he posted like a picture that somebody fan art or whatever, and Lewis Tanner was one particular character. I'm like, did he just spoil that, or did they just throw a random character on Lewis Tanner to do it? So I don't know. We'll see.
Ludi Lin?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. So that's Mortal Kombat. It's official. We have a movie, guys. They're giving us pictures. We can start getting a little bit excited. All right. So next up, the best Batman in the fucking world, Ben Affleck, is praising the MCU and Kevin Feige. So it's not big news, but can this mean is it gonna be like a crossover? Is Ben gonna switch over to the light side? Because, you know, fucking he's on the dark side for a while, but DC's gonna come over to the light, or is he just a creator and an artist who's just valuing what literally this man has created?
Yeah,
I don't know. What do we think?
I mean, I think it's obvious because he was asked about it. It's not like he brought up like, oh man, y'all know Kevin Feige? This motherfucker's insane. You know, it's not like he brought that up. But it is a thing of, you can only say good things about Kevin.
Right.
I mean, and especially if you're in the industry. So he did what he was supposed to do. It's not like, what if he was like, no comment, I'm DC? You know, it would have been like, oh fuck, like, you know, it would have been
some gangster shit.
Yeah. But you know, it does open the door to maybe having some conversations with him, because, you know, a lot of people could say he's a better director or writer than he even is an actor, and he is a A+ actor. So, you know, I did see, you know, it's the thing, gets me excited, and it shouldn't get me fucking excited, but somebody said, what if they brought it full circle and he came back and directed Daredevil, and I was like, God damn it, what if he did the Batman?
Oh my god.
It's the Batman that he wanted to do, because who's the Batman of the Marvel Universe? Fucking Daredevil, or Moon Knight, but, you know, Daredevil. And so I was like, and like, of course, you know, he was Daredevil. I that's a guilty pleasure. I loved that movie growing up. I mean, to death. But I was a kid, you know. I mean, I was all about it. Bullseye's crazy ass, you know.
What's wrong with you?
Yep. And him and Elektra playing on the seesaws.
Oh my god, that was
the
so
weirdest
horrible.
shit. Weirdest shit.
And Jon Favreau was fucking Foggy.
Yep.
Marvel was being built way before.
That's
back in
the
the
thing.
day.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it gets me, that kind of thought gets me excited as shit. But
That would be some orgasmic, like, full circle shit. Like, you come back to
really.
Rex Charlie Cox and a fucking I'd be upset at the same time though, because I'm like, this is the fucking Batman movie we could have fucking gotten.
Right.
Like,
no,
I
that's exactly right. That is 100% what's going to hurt the most if that ever happened. But it is a thing that it would be incredible. It would be awesome, and it's actually more possible than him coming back as Batman for a series or for something, because
that's definitely more possible.
Because they just say, hey man, it's a one-off, you direct it and go for it, you know. And it's like,
it's not a one-off.
Well, no, but like,
if it's successful.
But it could be a thing of like, hey, this is a one-off, you know. If it needs a sequel, either you write it, somebody else directs it, or we pay you a shit ton of money and bring you back, you know. So I mean, anything's possible. But
or he stays on as producer in like the following
exactly
things, like Favreau did.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's a thing of, you know, I would love that shit. I mean, I can't deny it. But I do think if there's anyone that he's done it in the past, you know, he's said it in the past. If there's anyone that's like, hey, I think I'm good, you know, a lot of the times with the big budget stuff, you know, hey, I'm trying to do my own thing, I'm trying to make my own movies, you know, whatever. But Marvel is kind of known for being that studio that's like, hey, pitch us something, we will give you whatever you want if we like it and if it fits into what we're doing. You know, that's kind of what they apparently did with the Eternals. They've done it with the guy that's doing Shang-Chi. You know, they like bring in these smaller, you know, directors, Taika.
I would say fucking Taika.
Yeah, and so I mean, it almost is a match made in heaven. Because I feel like Ben could actually have a relatively good experience. But
yeah, he definitely will. They treat him right, not like DC. Fuck sticks.
Well, but yeah, I mean, what he said, it made me happy to like see like other people that aren't in the Marvel world can look at what Kevin Feige's doing and not talk straight shit for the guy that's just destroyed the box office for, you know, a decade and just made superhero movies, a lot of which, you know, after The Dark Knight, you know, Kevin Feige really helped out with what we've got. Yeah. So
I think that was smart on Ben's, because it's Ben Affleck, one of the biggest stars in the fucking world. Sure. And Kevin Feige sees all. Kevin Feige sees all. So if you don't think at some point by Ben Affleck saying that Kevin Feige was like, light bulb, like for some right,
got a few ideas
in life, right? I don't know. We'll see.
Sure.
But all right, I think that's I don't have anything else off top out there what I actually wanted to speak. Did I? No, I don't think I do. You all good?
Only other thing I can say real quick is this is terrible. I'm on a film podcast, but yesterday I saw Back to the Future for the first time in my life. I don't know if you saw that tweet. First time in my life.
I missed that.
And it was cool. You know, I don't want to rub it in your face, but I got to see it in a theater. It's
okay. I don't care about Back to the Future like that.
But seeing that movie in a theater for my first viewing, fucking awesome.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, and it was so my cousin turned 11, and my aunt, being the badass that she is, took up, you know, what AMC's doing, and she rented out a theater for like $125 and got to bring all his friends, like 11 or 12 of his friends.
Okay, that's pretty badass.
I came, you know, like a bunch of the family came, and it was cool. And seeing those kids, like I'm watching it with these kids that haven't seen it either, and I'm like doing what they're doing. There was some risque stuff that I wasn't expecting, more cussing than I was expecting, surprises, things, but
more incestual things.
Yes. And the dad, you go back in time, and the dad was like a peeping Tom in a tree using binoculars looking at a girl get naked. I'm like, what is it? And this is rated PG. So
yeah, back in the day, PG meant a lot of different things.
Right. Because Raiders of the Lost Ark is what made PG-13. That was the first one. And so before that,
because fucking PG was Jaws.
Yeah, so crazy. But what I wanted to say is, and I've said this for a long time, but now that I've seen the movie, I'm really okay with saying this. Back to the Future, possibly the greatest title of all time in terms of a movie. Kind of a random thing, but Back to the Future is just fucking incredible. I hate to say it, but it really is.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about like?
It's just so smart. It's so like you're going back to the future, and like they say it multiple times, and it means different things. And I'm just like, because what I've said, yeah, no, exactly. And because that's so. Young Doc says that he's like, we got to get you back to the future, and then old Doc goes to the future, comes back, and it's like, we got to go back to the future, and it's like the future is different time period. Like it's just cool. So because I've always said, I think Infinity War, like taking Infinity Gauntlet, and like not a great name, like not a great subtitle for a movie, but Infinity War, I always thought was perfect. Like incredible name.
And now the Infinity Saga. Oh, yeah.
And right. But I also think Avengers Endgame is possibly the worst title I've ever heard in my life for the caliber of movie that it is. It's like, I didn't even know Endgame was a word until Doctor Strange said it. And when he said it, I was like, that's a weird thing for him to say. And then they title it that. So personal opinion. But I definitely...
Because he's literally in the Endgame.
Well, but I definitely think that, like, watching Endgame for the first time, whenever Cap says Avengers Assemble and they all take off running and they're coming, like Thanos like puts his thing out for everybody to take off running, and I said in the theater, I distinctly remember, I was like, this is a fucking Infinity War. Like this is like, and so I was like, it should have been the original thing, which was part 1, part 2.
Part 1 and 2.
So going off on a tangent, but Back to the Future, I think is a just amazing title. I really do. I love it so much. It's cool.
Cool. Touché. All right.
And I'm glad I finally saw it. Now I got to see the sequels.
Welcome to the club, sir. All right, guys. So especially for that, and congratulatory efforts of Sir Logan finally seeing Back to the Future, hit that subscribe button and them thumbs up. Make sure you like it. Let them know, like, Logan, we appreciate you for seeing it. Watch some more. That's just the best way to show love is by subscribing and hitting that thumbs up to let us know that you're rocking with us. All right. So that's going to do it for Out There in the World segment. Now on to our headlines. So speaking of Ben Affleck-ish, Justice League has been officially confirmed as a 4-hour just epic piece of film, hopefully, and not a series broken up into hour-long parts. So, I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
It's not a bad thing. I have no ill will or thoughts about that at all. So there's no negative thing about it. I just don't know if I would prefer it. I'm looking at it from a creator standpoint. I just don't know if I prefer the hour that we're going, okay, watch this hour. Cool. Break it down, send it out, reaction there. Instead of trying to break up a 4-hour fucking...
You're not wrong.
Epic thing, because I edit mostly on my phone and shit, because I've yet to try to perfect doing all this shit on my laptop. It intimidates the fuck out of me. When I see y'all post the shit, what that motherfucker looks like, I'm like, I don't want, that's a lot.
Oh my God. It's a nightmare.
Right. So I'm just like, I don't want to deal with all that, but sidetracking. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think about the 4-hour time limit?
So this is the thing. I still saw a. Oh, there you go. I even saw a thing that was like, this might not even be the case. It might still be released in 4 parts and then the movie. And this was just like clarification. But if this is, hey, we're just putting it out as a movie now, I prefer it, because the whole point of doing the Snyder Cut is to get Zack Snyder's original vision. His original vision was not to be, 4-hour-long segments. It was meant to be a 4-hour giant movie. Right. And, I will admit there's part of me that wants to kind of move on from this. And so I want to get it. I don't want to see them all in 4 parts. And then I'm like, okay, now I need to watch them all at, in one big thing. Like, so now I get it. I get it in one time. I get to experience what literally the movie is going to be exactly as he wants finally. And that's what I want to see. I want to see, I don't want to call it necessarily excuses, but it's like, this is the director's cut. So don't split up the director's cut.
Right.
Give me, and just for the audience's sake, can you imagine if, there's an hour that gets stopped by Ben Affleck's like amazing speech that we saw in that trailer?
Oh yeah.
And then it cuts to black. Yes. And then it's like, we'd be furious.
Yeah,
and as we should, but also it'd be a great cliffhanger. It'd make you come back for, I would guess that'd be the last act would be the next week of that. But I like 4 hours personally, because I also, if you want to talk about me watching things for the first time, throughout December I watched The Hobbits and The Lord of the Rings all for the first time. And The Hobbits, not great. But Lord of the Rings, I watched all 3 of those, the extended editions.
Oh, you're brave.
And so Return of the King was 4.5 hours. You
are brave.
And so I'm kind of like, hey, I'm down to sit there for 4 hours. I've done it before, done it a few times. Give it to me. So I like it because if it's the director's cut, if it's Snyder's vision, give it to me. That's kind of my point.
Right. No, good. I agree with all that. I wholeheartely agree. Like I said, I was just looking at it from a creative standpoint, like how the fuck am I gonna chop all this shit down and get it out? But I wholeheartedly agree. But I'm very excited. I cannot wait for it. I'm excited to see Manhunter. That's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. We finally got that confirmed for Henry Lennox. Yep. So I'm so excited to see him standing with everybody. So I'm bringing all the tissues when I watch this movie. So it's gonna be pretty damn awesome. So anything else you want to add to the notion?
I'm ready for it.
Cool, yeah. Don't disappoint us, Zach.
Please.
We're counting on you. And a lot of people are just waiting to fucking bash and hate you, so prove them wrong. It's just so fucking stupid. It's a conversation for another time. But all right, so moving on to our next piece of news. Speaking of Endgame, Paul Battaglini has, officially, fuck you, Twitch. Stop telling me that people are live streaming. I don't care. But I never actually looked back and see it. Can you actually hear it on playback?
I didn't hear that one, but a lot of time.
I'm pretty sure people watching probably like, what the fuck is that? Sorry, I get Twitch alerts. It's just annoying. All right, so Avengers Endgame. Paul Bettany has, told us and revealed that Endgame had a post-credit scene with him and Wanda setting up Wandavision, which
I've not heard of this.
Yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. So obviously he was doing this to promote Wandavision. And then, here's his quote directly. At one point, there was going to be a tag where Scarlet Witch opened up a body bag drawer and there was Vision. Bettany explained in the Ask Each, Other Anything session, what the fuck was going on there. Kevin kind of talked to me and said, I've got to pull the shots. And I was like, because I really wanted that profit participation. I don't blame you, brother. That's a lot of money, even just for one. So apparently we was going to get a setup to WandaVision through Avengers Endgame. Now, to kind of piggyback off that, I'm glad that they did not. It makes sense that, it was pulled and Endgame was just fully the darkness. That was it, sitting all of it, and Tony Stark's little ding ding fucking homage. I think it was a very smart idea because I feel like that would have thrown off just what had happened in that film if we would have got the tag of, now to set up WandaVision and see her pulling out a fucking, we wouldn't have needed that. Right. So that makes sense to me. What are your thoughts on it?
No, I completely agree. That was the Infinity Saga for me, at least, because they kind of try to put Far From Home in there. I consider the Infinity Saga ending with Endgame. And so no, it makes total sense to cut this. I did not know this. Now I see why you're trying to keep it from me earlier.
Yes, because I had got off topics before we get into it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had not heard this, but what I'm honestly more surprised about is they obviously, he says, hey, we have to pull the shots. The shots were in there in the cut at some point.
Yeah.
They should have cut that together and released it in this time that we've had.
Or gave it to us in like the DVD.
That's true too. But while we've been doing nothing for a year with COVID, you could have dropped this, it's a 15-second scene, but have it come as an official, like, I don't know what the name would be, but WandaVision, end credit scene, or whatever you want to call it, and get us all incredibly hyped for what was to come. Right. I think that could have been cool. I would love to see it. I'm hoping maybe that'll be on like the special features of WandaVision after the fact. Like maybe that'll be a part of, kind of what they do with the Mandalorian with that, the behind the scenes stuff that they release afterwards. But that sounds cool. I don't, we're only 2 episodes into WandaVision. We haven't talked about it yet, but I don't know how that would have fit into the story that we're getting so far, because we've just kind of been dropped into the world and,
right.
Very little outside stuff has been seen yet. So like, does this all start because Wanda found his body? Or,
right.
So it just brings a lot of questions to me, but I'm glad they cut it because the end of Avengers Endgame was spectacular. I mean, the starting lineup type of end credit for the original Avengers, where it's just beautiful. I really only thing I hate about it was the picture they used, like the silhouette picture for Tony. I thought was terrible.
It was weird.
But I don't know why they chose him to be in that outfit from Endgame. But besides the point.
Right. But yeah, I think. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that this is definitely, it's a good idea to get cut. I didn't know about it, which is cool to hear. But no, I'm glad that it was not a part of Endgame.
Yeah,
for sure.
And even if they just want to keep it, just release it as like a little bonus thing on Disney Plus or some shit to get ready for Wanda. Or if you want to tag it in real quick, Mandalorian would have been like your best kind of driving force, again at the end, like kind of tag like and now like an exclusive sneak or whatever of like WandaVision or whatever the fuck, because then you would have kind of like merged audiences and got people like what's that, whatever. So that would have been, but hey,
they could have even tagged it onto like those Legends episodes that came out the week before, where it's like a recap.
Yeah, I was like, did anyone really watch that?
I mean, hey, I reacted to them. It got me excited to see all of it, but it could have been something to get more people to watch it, because that's kind of the point. Nobody watched that shit. And so put that on the end of the Vision one, because definitely nobody watched the Vision one, and all of a sudden it gets a lot of people talking.
Touche, sir. Good point. All right, keeping it in the world of Marvel, we have a returning face, but not the face that y'all would have thought. So, Sir Damon is back for Thor 4, Love and Thunder. Now, this is very interesting. I don't know what the fuck for. I don't know how. Let's read some quotes, shall we? It's another, short, nothing too long.
Sure.
He was asked by the local news outlet, wherever the fuck that was, but good for them. I'm so excited that my family and I will be able to call Australia home for the next few months. Australian film crews are world-renowned for their professionalism and are a joy to work with, so the 14 days of quarantine will be well worth it. So, who the fuck are we? Are we just about to see him? And he's here for some months. So
yeah, no, for sure.
Because it says, was that in the quote? The next few months. He's there for some months. So it's not just a little pop up and go like the first, like show up in a play. Da, 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 da. So this is a more, pivotal kind of role that he's doing. So is it? What do we think he's gonna play here? Because they're not gonna sit here and do a fucking 5 different sets of a play or some shit where he's trying to be Loki or whatnot. So what do we think?
This is an interesting one, because they could go 2 ways here. They could go with, hey, we're gonna bring Matt Damon in. He's going to be a Asgardian civilian. That's just, he has a large role in this. He's the normal guy running around with all these crazy people that have massive powers, which could be hilarious to see. Jason Bourne, like completely overwhelmed by what's going on. But also, like, I saw someone say, normally the person is Thor's brother, but that doesn't make sense. But they were like, what if he's like Balder, which is another god that's usually Thor's brother, but like obviously he's not, because they've already done a secret sister. They're not going to do another one. Right. And so they were like, what if they just said like Balder, who is a god and has powers, also just likes theater? And it's like, that would be fucking hilarious if like we got introduced to this. That would be hilarious. Like we got introduced to this crazy powerful guy.
And very Taika.
And exactly. Pretending to be Loki as he dies in a play. And he's like, I just love the theater. Like, now let's go rip these guys' heads off. Like, hilarious.
Oh my God. That'll be like, you haven't watched this though. Did you watch the new Harley Quinn show?
No.
Oh my God. That's very much Clayface, where he's just, his whole just very Shakespearean, and he's an actor because, you know, he changes into people and shit. So he's very committed to everything he does. He talks like this, and oh, I'm Clayface and shit like that. But at the same time, like, he's fucking people up. It's hilarious. So that could be a good thing.
If I had to put a bet on it, though, I think he's not a powerful person.
You know, he's probably the same dude because it's just an Asgardian in a play.
Right.
But fucking coming in and out to
he's
kind of
comedic relief coming in and out.
Right.
But also, I mean, if you could get Matt Damon into the MCU as an actual hero, that would be awesome. Because his cameo in Thor Ragnarok ruined that. You know, because now you can't make him a different character. But
I mean, sure. Well, why can't you? Shit, no one's gonna pay attention like that. Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Matt Damon is a great surprise cameo person. Like, he'll just pop up in films like, oh shit, it's fucking Matt Damon, and just fucking
like an Interstellar or something.
Right. Or Deadpool 2, like, oh shit, what the fuck? Okay, Matt Damon. So he's really good at this shit.
Was he in Deadpool 2?
Was. Him and Alan Tudyk. So when Cable came back, came to the future.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's all dressed up. That's right.
Yeah. If you use the Charlotte, the toilet paper is fucking Matt Damon. Mm-hmm. But all right. So I'm looking forward to that, seeing what role he'll play. In Taika, I trust. I'm sure it'll be great. So we shall see where it goes from there. Guys, we're pretty much almost at, you know, the halfway mark here. If you're still with us, hit that subscribe button. If you're new, consider subscribing. Just click right down there and hit that thumbs up, and hit that notification bell to be reminded when the show pops up tomorrow or next week. Just be alerted. You want to keep up with us? We're well worth the wait. At least I'd like to think we are. You know. But all right, guys, so moving on to the next topic, we have sticking to the world of Marvel. But this isn't a too heavy subject. Apparently, Cap is in talks to come back. Chris Evans is in talks to come back. We don't know into what capacity, it's just talks right now, but apparently Chris Evans did a little woohoo on us and, you know, tweeted, oh, news to me. So, what do we think here? Because to be quite honest, I hate the idea. I don't want him back. Leave him. He's done. His arc is complete. I don't need to see him again unless it's a picture on a fucking wall or some shit. That's it. I don't need him back. I don't want him back. What's your take on this?
I'm honestly right there with you. It's a thing where, you know, I had the idea thrown in my head long ago of, you know, hey, don't touch Cap, don't touch Tony for a decade, and then if you're doing Secret Wars or something like that, you could do some insane multiverse shit where you bring a different version in through a portal, and they like, hey,
Cap,
and well, no, but like it's like these other like, hey, we need some help. You know, the Avengers are losing or whatever, and you know, Reed Richards opens up a portal to the multiverse and brings out some other Avengers from a different universe, and they're older. They're Cap and Tony. It's like we need some backup, and Cap walks through and is like, what do we got? And like I had that, somebody said that one time. I was like, I don't know what I was watching, but I've been stuck on that. But in any capacity right this second, it's vastly too soon to do anything like that. So I honestly I hate the idea as well. If you bring him in, I saw people saying he could be a Skrull type of disguise that somebody disguises up as Captain America. Not worth it. It's a waste. It's cheap. It's stupid. It's not. You're not bringing back Captain America. You're bringing Chris Evans in for a cameo. There's no talks for a cameo.
Yeah.
So if you're because I even saw someone say like, well, what if it's not a cameo? And the idea of something like a Terminator movie, but it's a Skrull dressed up as Cap walking around fucking people up, kind of cool.
I like that.
I hate it though. I want Cap. Like Cap ended perfectly.
Yes, he did.
Cap is a hero. I don't need to see Hydra Cap. We already got that little laugh in Endgame where he says Hell Hydra to get the thing. I'm good. Cap is supposed to be annoyingly perfect. And that's what they went with. He did one selfish thing. He got to live with the love of his life. The perfect ending. Right. Let him ride off into the goddamn sunset. We've had a year of COVID and then a year without that movie, and you're already bringing him back. No. So I'm honestly hoping that whatever trades heard this got a bad source, and I'm hoping Chris Evans, what he tweeted out, was true.
It's gaslighting.
But I don't know, because it could also be he could be in talks for something 15 years from now. Doesn't make sense. But
that's true. I don't need him back. No. It's unnecessary. Like as much as I love America's ass, I don't need to see it again. So it's perfectly fine and okay with me. I trust in you, Lord Feige, but it's a little too soon. So just if this is true,
I agree.
Leave it in the past for now. But all right. So that's our thoughts on Cap. Again, guys, let us know what you think in the comment sections below on the topics we've covered so far. Keep the discussion going. Keep it civil. If you have disagreements, that's great. Hash it out, but keep it civil. But let us know what you think in the comment sections below, down once you watch the show, or during, whichever one. So, okay.
I was waiting for this one.
Yeah, this is a topic that America, you will see, will greatly frustrate me and anger me beyond belief. So I will try my best to keep it calm, to keep it nice, to just keep it, contained. So
the fuse has been lit.
It has, but I'm keeping it. I don't know.
You didn't keep it very calm in your description there.
I didn't. I did not.
Go ahead.
So, yes, I forgot. Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong has been pushed up early, which I love, to March, the month of my birthday, which is great. This is awesome. But not only do we get it pushed up, we also get it streaming service at home for those of you who want to ruin theater. So, yes, Logan, what do you think of said news that we are getting Godzilla vs. Kong on streaming service, but also the same day as theaters? But that means nothing when you're in New York. So, what do you think, sir, of said news?
This was honestly one that, as soon as I saw this, you're the first person I thought about. Because, if anything, this is one that you would have wanted to be pushed back as far as possible, so that we possibly were opening up things in New York City, and maybe a possible theater could have been open. Obviously, for people that are dying to see this movie, great. If you want to talk about the worst marketing there's ever been, this is now coming before Mortal Kombat. Nothing. We've got a couple shots from this movie. I am hearing we might
shots.
I am hearing we might be getting a trailer this weekend, possibly during a football game.
That's nice.
But hey, they just moved it up to March, and it's mid-January. They kind of have to. So if they don't, what in the world? So it is a thing. I will see this movie in a theater, as long as we don't have some insane spike, which we kind of already are. but it sucks for a lot of people because this is the definition of like I saw Godzilla King of the Monsters and I despised the movie. I thought it was a piece of absolute shit. But
I would not get with that.
If there was anything that I could say was cool, it was seeing it in IMAX on a big screen. It demanded that, and it was there.
Wide shots of just
exactly.
Oh my God.
So that is something this movie demands the biggest screen imaginable. And so I hate that we're in the times that we're in. I hate that, studios can't, float this stuff and just say, hey, push it until this is open, like what they're probably going to do with Dune, because they're fighting about it with Dune. And I think there was something else that they might be fighting about, but it sucks for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because the theatrical experience, this movie was not made to ever be watched at home, sadly. No. It was made to be watched 10 times in a theater by diehard fans.
Mm-hmm.
And this one over here is upset.
I'm keeping it very contained. Yeah, so that's great. People like you and everyone that has theaters, in their states that's still, functioning and things like that. But here in New York, we're really fucked, and we don't have that luxury. So now I'm just gonna be missing out on Godzilla versus Kong because it will eventually leave both the theaters and just stay on streaming, and eventually force me to either just not give a fuck about the movie or just watch it on a home screen, which infuriates me. But I'm keeping it very professional right now.
I will tell you, don't do what you did for Wonder Woman 84. And if you're gonna have people over, let them pick the specific people that will respect what's going on, and you can fully experience the movie.
Same friends love the other Godzillas and love Godzilla in general as well. So I'm sure they will be watching it at home. But I will refuse to watch it once that happens. So yes, so it's a-okay. But thank you for your.
Oh, you're so welcome, bud.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna move on.
It's ASMR, fucking therapy.
We're going to move on from that, and now I'm back. Thank you. I don't know what happened there. I kind of blacked out. Going back to the land of Marvel and something I'm very, very excited about because this man is a fucking genius. We have a Hawk in the Moon Knight. Yes, we do. I thought that was creative. I'm sorry. But Ethan Hawke is officially joined the cast of Moon Knight, which is going to be fucking spectacular. This obviously isn't a big thing, but it's just excited, so we'll just take a few seconds to just get your thoughts on this. But this is fucking phenomenal. And he's the villain. So that's just means menace, which that man can pull anything off.
Correct.
But yeah, what are your quick thoughts on that? I'm excited, but what do you think?
No, I mean, this is in any time, it's one of those things you can cast any great actor in 90% of good roles. So it's like I'm excited because Marvel is getting A+ talent, bringing them into something like Moon Knight, which is probably going to be the weirdest shit we'll see since WandaVision. In terms of its release, that Mark Spector is a weird ass character. So bringing in some very talented people is very smart. I saw some people say, he could be Dracula and he could do this, and just because he's in Moon Knight doesn't mean he can't later on become a theatrical villain. And I was like, holy fuck, man! Like, this is the MCU and the Disney Plus part of that. Like, it's going to be insane. Like, once we actually get this thing moving. But no, yeah, it's super exciting to get some great talent in a show like Moon Knight.
It is him and Oscar Isaacs. I'm ready. I'm not completely sold on Oscar yet. I have to watch it and see things, but Oscar is still a fucking great actor. He can kill it. But
he's got the talent.
Yeah, he definitely does. But we shall see. But that's some amazing ass news. All right. Well, last headline before we get to our main topic, which is very interesting, dropped today, and I was like, okay. So, we haven't seen the last of the Chocolate Factory. We have not. Apparently, this would be the birth and the rise of the Chocolate Factory in one Willy Wonka. So, which is slated, I forget what the year, but will come out in March. Which is slated for obviously a few years.
Yeah,
I think 23. And it's a prequel on Willy Wonka, and apparently they already have their two candidates who they have in mind and who they want to play Sir Willy, which is Tom Holland and Timothy Chalamet. So, out of those two, Timothy. I feel like that's just fucking.
He looks it, and he definitely fits it.
Definitely. So it's. I feel like both of those. Tom Holland, yeah, I guess you just want to get it because he's young and a little thing, sure. But Timothy, I feel like was just gonna run off with that. I feel like he's perfect for that. If he decides to do it, obviously. Yeah. If he doesn't, then obviously we're probably gonna get Tom. But I prefer Timothy. But I just found that odd today. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. And I don't know if we need a Wonka prequel.
So that's the thing is like, I somebody brought it up today. I saw it last second. Was you remember that Wizard of Oz prequel that they made?
Yeah.
No one does. Like,
Shit.
it's like everybody tried to forget that piece of garbage. It was so unnecessary. And this is one of those things. I don't need this whatsoever. You come up with a story that is worth it. I'm gonna ask why it wasn't touched on in the other movies. You know, like, so it is one of the things. But Timothy Chalamet, obviously, if you're going to do this, if they were just saying, hey, we're gonna reboot Willy Wonka, and here's our candidates, Timothy, obviously.
Right.
Not only because he looks the part, but talent-wise, you know, I love Tom Holland. I think he's great, but Timothy is, I think, the next, like, Leo. You know, he could be at least for our generation. And so, I think Tom Holland's on that list for ticket sales.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole point of that. Great. And sadly, from the stuff I've heard Tom say, he is someone, you know, he grew up not a ton of money. You know, he's very thankful for the opportunities he's getting. And from what I've heard, he doesn't really like to say no to something that's pretty promising. And so if somebody says, hey, Willy Wonka, you want to play Willy Wonka? He's like, God, how could I say no to that?
Right.
And although I would look at that and go, y'all fucking stupid. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, it could be done really.
That's the thing is, I mean, an opportunity is an opportunity. The script could be incredible. Right. And if that's the case, great. But this is one. It's
direct.
Correct.
It's like Alan Sorkin presents fucking Wonka or some shit. It's like, oh, all right.
Well, no, so here's the thing though. Here is exactly what they could do that would get us all excited. Willy Wonka prequel, directed by Taika fucking Waititi. And all of a sudden, you start shitting yourself.
Oh.
So this is what I'm talking about. So they could do it. It's a possibility.
Oh God.
Right. So I don't know but if they're going to try to make this some dark, mysterious, you know, drama,
That's
that's not the movie. But if they're going to go crazy, they're going to go wild, they're going to go Willy Wonka, go for somebody like that.
That is brilliant.
I kind of just came up with it, but it does make a lot of sense.
See, this is why I love you, brother. Because you just say shit like that. You just know how to make me happy. It's just, wow. I want that now. Taika's Wonka with fucking Timothy
Chalamet with Taika would be fucking incredible.
What the fuck? Oh my God, Taika can hit all those beats and then capture the the dramatic aspects of the struggle and the relatability. Oh my God, Taika, I know you're watching this too. Make this shit happen. Like, wow.
I know you just started filming Thor 4 this week, but like, come on, man. I know you're watching.
You can write like 5 scripts at the same time, you know?
You're good, man. Let's get going.
Fucking shit.
Fuck Akira. What are you talking about? Let's do this.
Right. That's Leo shouldn't be leading that shit anyway. So fuck it. Okay. Wow. That was a mind blown. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. So, on to our main topic of the night. Obviously, you all know Wandavision dropped. Yes, you do. So we'll try not to run this down because we can talk about this for some time. We have the ability to, just off of sheer excitement alone. But this is an official WandaVision spoiler review. I don't even know how to put it up at this point because I know you've all seen it, and if the soul hasn't so far, I don't know.
What are you doing? Yeah.
But yeah. So WandaVision episodes 1 and 2 dropped over the weekend, and boy, it was a whole bunch of just goodness. Like, it was great. It was amazing. I love the track that they're on. I love the feel. I love the aesthetic. Paul Bettany and fucking Elizabeth Olsen are slaying this shit. Like, especially Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany is having the time of his life.
His whole life. Like, his whole life. Like, he saw all of it and said, I'm gonna have fun through all of it. He put so much, especially episode 2. I was like, he is enjoying himself, and he's fucking brilliant. Like, I love the setup. I love that we don't have any idea what the fuck is going on other than S.W.O.R.D. is involved. We're being introduced to characters. We finally saw Monica fucking Rambeau. Captain Han's character is a delight, which I'm sure she's going to play a huge part down the road because she's just set up that way. The bitch is everywhere.
Yeah.
We had a few kind of reality jumps throughout both episodes. We had the dinner scene, with the choking boss. That felt very well. We're changing dynamic, we're changing aspect, we're focusing in.
Yeah.
It just seems like
I loved how all of a sudden it went from 50s sitcom to like the cameras and just changed. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then just right back. Yeah.
Just
oh my god, I was like so fucking about this shit.
Is somebody communicating to her right now, or is she doing it in her mind in this situation? Because everyone's just like, stop it. It seems like someone's trying to communicate with her on the outside, like, you're fucking killing this person. Like, stop. Like, enough. And then at the end of episode 2 with the beekeeper, when that motherfucker popped up, and she said no, and then just fucking rewind the shit. I'm like, wait, so she has some kind of control here. Like, she's aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that she's obviously in some kind of facility, or she has caused some kind of just reality bend, whatever, that just got the attention of S.W.O.R.D. and the outside world, and she's being contained right now. But she put herself in a state that's just like, I'm just fucking losing it. Like, fuck everything. I'm just gonna be on my own shit. So she's literally sitting at like some kind of fucking table or some room or some area or whatever, and we have all these people that we see coming in are from the outside world, kind of packed in as maybe as these characters. Or that's the thing, because there's so many people that even outside of them are having like their snaps. Like the leader of like the neighborhood or whatever the fuck her name, Danny.
Dottie.
Dottie.
Yeah.
She had a moment where they was trying to get through her through the radio, like, Wanda, like, who's doing this to you? She was like, who are you? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is happening? But yeah, I can just go on. I'm gonna let you go. I can.
No, I mean, this really could have been our whole show. So I want to keep it, short, sweet, because I could go through every Easter egg I've seen. I could go through so many things. But this is the thing. I almost wanted to start with, like, so I told my dad is, a fan of the Disney Plus stuff and a fan of Marvel. And so I was like, hey, WandaVision's starting up, make sure you watch. And this is a, 57-year-old man that loves action. And so, he watched these first 2 episodes. And he texted me and was like, well, yeah, you said they'd be weird. He's like, I don't know what the fuck that was. And I was like, hey, just give it some time. And then my sister, who's 30, watched it with him. And she was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm into this. And I was like, just give it some time. And she was like, oh no, like I have to watch what happens next. But she was like, I wasn't a big fan of what I saw. She was like, and I started talking to her, and she's like, I definitely think by the end it'll all make sense, and it'll be cool to go back. And so, like, and I've been seeing that a lot online. For those people that, because if I wanted to give some negatives, I could say we know nothing of the story. It's just we've kind of been dropped in these times and just seeing these episodes. Great. But I actually like that, because I know it's a long game. It's a series. We're going to learn things as we go. The mystery will unravel. So I love it. But yeah, I like episode 2 more than episode 1.
Yeah.
It was so much fucking fun. So much fun. Paul Bettany, like you said, having a blast. It was one of those things too. Like I kind of thought about it because they're both obviously having a blast, but I think Paul Bettany is having twice as much fun.
Oh yeah.
As Elizabeth Olsen, but it's also funny because the time periods that they're playing, a woman has to be conservative, like reserved, things like that. Whereas the guy can do whatever the hell he wants. He can show up to a magic show drunk as shit, and he gets a trophy. And if it was Wanda doing that, they'd probably kick her out of the neighborhood. You know, so it's like so I kind of like I see what they're doing here, and from what people were saying, I think episode 3 is going to really open some shit up for us. I think we're going to learn a lot more about the outside world, because I definitely think Catherine Hahn is a villain. I think her name's Agnes. There's a comic villain named Agatha Harkness from the Scarlet Witch comics, and she wears this medallion thing, and Agnes is wearing it, and so I'm like, it's fucking her. And if I wasn't sold on that before,
do you just love just fucking shit up for me? Like, do you just love just putting?
Well, no. So here,
why? Why?
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
That?
Here's the thing though. If this didn't click, I don't know how it didn't click, because Wanda she hears something outside in episode 2, and she goes out there and she finds that helicopter, and she's holding it up, and she's starting to freak out because she's going, "What the hell is this?" And then Catherine Hahn interrupts her, and what does she say? What comes out of her mouth? She goes, "Well, isn't it the star of the show?"
Yeah.
It's like,
I caught that. There's definitely intentional.
She's in on this.
Just like the fucking communist.
Communist thing. She's later on. Catherine Hahn says, "You know, Dotty's being a bitch." And she's like, and Dottie says, "Devil's in the details." And she's like, "Not the only thing the devil's in." I think Catherine Hahn's talking about herself, or talking about Wanda. So I definitely think that this is about to open up to some crazy shit.
Oh my god damn! If you have insights with villains and shit, don't say nothing.
It's not. But that's the thing, though. Is like they've been teasing a bunch of things. Have you not seen the Easter egg that's in the intro for episode 2?
No, I guess I missed it.
Okay, so it's literally a frame, and I don't even know if I want to, because it's a comic villain that is an obvious like Easter egg. But what just tell me. What? So it's literally, so it's in the intro for episode 2, the Bewitched one with the cartoon, and there's a shot where I think it's Vision like phases through the floor. He's getting ready upstairs and he comes downstairs, and there's a shot that's like the Simpsons kind of thing where they go from top floor to bottom floor, and there's like a crawl space in between, and there's like, it's like a frame in between. You have to pause it, like you have a couple frames to get it, and there's a crawl space that has like bones, spider webs, and then the helmet of a comic book villain called the Grim Reaper from the Marvel Comics. So the Grim Reaper's in their house, hiding in their house, and so it's like, exactly. So it's like, I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm absolutely obsessed with this, and like, obviously the commercial breaks with the toaster and with the
oh my god,
the watch, amazing. I love how that's like her traumas, and then also there's a small section of their like living room that the wallpaper is that Hydra base from Age of Ultron.
Oh shit!
It's fucking wild. So
there's that the house itself is changing.
Right. So you actually see it, I think, in both episodes, but it's the shot where Wanda is walking and she's about to hear the thing that makes her go outside to find the helicopter. There's like an entryway that she walks through, and it's just on the wall right there, and it's like plain as day. And then you can also kind of see it when it's becoming color at the end of the episode. it's kind of off in the distance, but you can see it. It's fucking wild, man. Like the stuff that they're putting in here, it's all purposeful. It's that long-term, specific, smart storytelling that grips me, and like, I mean, I can't keep up, and it's dragging me anyway. And like, I just want to go to the end. Like I cannot wait for Fridays now, because all I want.
And it's funny to talk about the helicopter. There's even words of saying that's how Monica Rambeau got inside, in using, PIM particles to shrink in or do whatever she needs to, because Monica also works for S.H.I.E.L.D. But given that this is S.W.O.R.D., maybe they switched that to she's S.W.O.R.D. now, because obviously she is an intergalactic fucking being. So it's like, it only makes sense that she's kind of swooping in to like maybe save or try to pull her out or monitor, whatever the hell may be. But apparently that's how she fucking got into that reality, is what they're one of the theories.
I'm almost thinking that might be either everybody in here's a S.W.O.R.D. agent, or people got sucked into it that by accident. But what I think is happening is everyone that is in it forgets the outside world. Like, I think they sent Monica in to like, hey, go gather intel. And Monica, as soon as she steps in there, she's like, I'm just part of this. It's like she's in a dream now, and she's just in it. Like, I don't think she knows.
Right.
So, we saw some things in the trailer that I think we're gonna get. I think it might be next episode that we get some information on that. But just the people that I've talked to that aren't massive fans,
get pulled out in the trailer at some point,
right? And so I think that's gonna be a thing where it's like, there's either gonna be two Monica Rambeaus, like one's a S.W.O.R.D. agent and one's this one that got duplicated, or they're gonna be like, holy shit, you're back, and she's immediately gonna be like, holy crap, y'all have no idea. Because even to the point of like the show WandaVision is being like sent out, like they're watching the show, the S.W.O.R.D. agent at the beginning, at the end of the first one, like, so
I'm monitoring this shit.
Yeah, like they're watching the credits going, what the fuck? Like, they're trying to write these notes like, are you kidding me? What is this bullshit? So it's wild. But talking to people that aren't big fans, that they're like, what was that radio saying? And I'm like, and they're like, who's saying it? And I was like, oh, it's somebody from the outside world trying to get in, because I know who's cast in the show, and I recognize the voice anyway, and I know who he is. And so I'm like, oh no, yeah, it's a guy from the outside world trying to contact Wanda, because they're watching the show going, what the hell's happening? Right. And so he's asking, who's doing this to you? Like, hello? Like, and they're like, oh shit, like, okay, that makes sense. And like, seeing people kind of start, like, they just get more and more excited for it, because they're just and they're confused as hell.
Oh yeah.
And so I get it, and a lot of people are, but this is going to be one of those, I think, that if you stick around long enough as a casual fan, because we're obviously going to watch it. These first two episodes could have been garbage, and we're watching episode 3. But if you're not a big fan and you're kind of confused, stick it out.
Stick around. And
I think that it will. I don't necessarily think I can say it will make sense, because it's going to be some wild shit. But I do think it will be worth the wait once we get a few weeks in.
More, baby. I want to see all shit fucking go crazy that they're talking about. I want to see fucking Wanda versus maybe, I forget Monica's like Captain Marvel name, like Phazon or Phase, something with a PH. Just one of those. I believe it's Photon.
Photon sounds right.
She fucking takes on Wanda and Vision. Oh my god. That'd be amazeballs.
Let me see here.
I don't know. I'm excited for the Halloween episode. Spectrum
is another one, but I want to say
5 different fucking names though.
Yeah, that's the thing, is she's been a bunch of different things. But I don't think she's leaving the show without having powers. Like,
I think she already fucking has them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I sure think Shorty has them. But it's either it's going to be a scenario like you said where there's two of them, because once she gets pulled out, even in the trailer, I remember there was a breakdown and a lot of people were saying that you could see the real her in the background.
Yeah.
Monica laying on the floor like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
It's the real her chilling in the back. She's silhouetted, but you see the hair and all type of shit. There's only one motherfucker that's like that. But yeah, so I think we might get a scenario where there's two or duplicates pulling from a reality or like a simulation. I don't know, man. I'm just excited. These first two episodes didn't give us a lot, but they gave us a lot of Easter eggs. They gave us a lot of great moments and entertainment. A lot of little sayings that make you want to like, that was deliberate. So
yeah, I definitely think it's a scenario where what I really think is happening is Wanda is in control, or she thinks she's in control.
Right.
But someone's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Because just the point of like, if something terrible happens, it's so weird to like watch it. Like it's so awkward. But something weird happens, like the guy starts choking or the girl smashes the glass, and immediately Wanda decides to fix it. So Vision help him, or gives that girl that rag, and as soon as it's resolved, they dip out. It's like somebody's like, okay, now get him out of there before she starts realizing some shit's wild. Yeah. Like, just make her happy again. And so it's weird in that way.
She had control. I don't know. It's just weird that she has control but not.
Right. So it's like somebody is. I think somebody's deliberately doing things. Because even to the point, like the beekeeper thing, like we have no fucking clue what that means. We know it's a shield person. So it almost seems like it's somebody came in wearing a shield outfit, and it's now been warped to be scary. By who? I don't know. But it's like, hey, that person's coming in to give you a message. We're gonna make them terrifying.
I just think that because this is her reality, and I think she's in full kind of maybe control of this, but I think that the outside world sword is making efforts to break in, and when they do, that's when she catches it. It's like, no, motherfucker, like, get out. Like, this is... I don't think it's a scenario where they have her doing it. I think it's the reality that she's created for herself, and we're literally trying to break into the bitch to be like, hey, like, what the fuck is going on? Because you're fucking shit up out here.
Yeah.
But we need to figure out why. So I think anytime they make that penetration, it was just like, all right, we got through. Yeah. The bitch, like, stop. Like, she's like, no. Like, peace out. Like, we're sitting the fuck up. We're not hearing that right now. Like,
that was like, that no was as powerful as like when Caesar first says no in the first Planet of the Apes. I'm like, she sounds like the scariest mom.
Wait to that shit.
She sounds like that. Like, no.
Right. And that's like that sent shivers through me. Like, she's like, and then she's like, no. I was like, whoa.
It shows you the range of like,
yeah.
She's wanting to have fun. She's wanting to be in this fun, sitcom reality. No, we're not. This isn't happening. You're not fucking this up. But also, the one weird thing, I don't know a ton about the comics, but I know some, and I won't spoil it for you. But I think I think the first two episodes, there were some things. The second episode especially, I think if someone's pulling the strings, they are subliminally wanting her to have these kids. They want her to get pregnant and have kids, because the whole second episode, everything is for the children. Magic show for the elementary school for the children. There's not one child.
Damn kids.
There's not one child in these episodes.
Yeah. And
there's some things from the comics that kind of base off of that, and
their kids and all that story.
And they're at the end of that second episode, they're sitting on the couch and they say for the children, and then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, you know what, let's get pregnant. And I think that's exactly what some people want, and I cannot fucking wait to see what happens whenever she gets what she thinks she wants.
Those kids, the comics.
So cool shit. This is one of those things though. This is so different from The Mandalorian. So different. Like, you know, The Mandalorian is similar to what Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be, where it's just a show. We're following these characters. They're going through some cool shit. Awesome. WandaVision is a completely different. It's on its own. Yeah. And so comparing it to things, don't even try it. Just try to enjoy this confusion, and I think it'll all be worth it.
Because I even know some shit that's going on. I'm still fucking confused. I'm like, all right, well,
no, of course.
I'll ride out.
Yeah,
I'm dropped in. Just take me, and that's Jesus take the wheel, or Wanda.
That's what I want.
Right, Wanda take the wheel. I'm here. Just that's it.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. So this Friday, be on the lookout. Episode 3 will drop, hopefully, and that's one thing I will say really fucking quick. Disney Plus, because I know you're fucking watching this too. Quit fucking up this goddamn blocking shit every 24 fucking second. Every single time you motherfuckers drop a damn episode, you make it like I'm trying to get into fucking Alcatraz just to post a goddamn video. Stop it.
Yeah.
Like, it's pissing me off because I keep on track. I keep on everybody. I be the first motherfucker just done, ready, posted it. Make sure I'm the first. Cool. Nobody posted shit. All right, cool. Block for 2 fucking days. I'm trying to figure this shit out. And when I finally post it, nobody gives a fuck about it any goddamn more because the hype is gone and we all seen it. Everyone's moving on. Stop fucking with people's livelihoods and their fucking professions or what they're doing. Stop it. We're not fucking trying to sell your shit. We're not trying to fucking bootleg your shit. And then it's like when you break it up, it's all block. Your shit is literally the same as everybody else's who has the shit up and just fine. So I'm like, I don't get your process, but stop being fucking stupid.
This is a I've basically come to the decision, because was it your I think it was your finale that I didn't get mad about it, but I was like, God damn it, like I had so much trouble with it. And then I go look at yours, you have all the audio, you're not blocking anything in terms of the picture, and I was like, this is up just fine. And that my finale for Mandalorian got blocked a million times. And so I've just come to the decision, I had to make the executive decision of my YouTube reactions are probably going to just suck. They're just going to suck. I'm editing them like I would anything. And it's really frustrating because I edit them all, and that talking about what the editing thing looks like and how terrifying it is. You know, you go through these episodes and you got to make a million little cuts. And I have like 5 minutes of footage. So it's not that, you know, you can have 10 minutes of footage for copyright. And I have 5, or in some cases less. And then I have to go through and take out all the audio from the episode. And then I have to put a fat watermark or they will block me. And it's the most frustrating shit. It sucks because they definitely own it. And so I'm like, I can't necessarily tell them what to do, but like it does.
Yeah, I've seen guidelines. It's like a bullshit.
Correct. And for me, it's also a thing that like, I always looked at Disney was usually that one that was like cool to reactors.
Right.
Like unless they had some third-party music that would get claimed, you would always be good. You would never get a claim from a Disney property. And so Mandalorian kind of like put me off. I was like, damn, man, like they're actually hard on this. And so I feel like I'm being attacked by someone that used to be my friend. Right. And so it sucks for sure because I'm with you. It's a thing where I'm having to add, you know, you're talking about being first. I'm not even wasting my time of trying to possibly see if I could skim by, but I'm having to add 30 extra minutes to my editing to make my video live, but it sucks. And so like, I hate that I have to start every video. I have a clip that plays that says, hey, try my Patreon, because you can watch the whole fucking thing there, because Disney and YouTube sucks ass. And I hate that I have to be that guy, but it is a thing of, I mean, there's no reason for me to even try because they're going to get me.
But it makes no sense because my second episode is up, and I've hid nothing. I've done, like, it's just up. First episode still to this day.
Can't get it up.
Even when it tells you like, oh, this is where the copyright shit is.
It's bullshit.
Where? Like, what the fuck?
It's bullshit.
Like, it's so fucking stupid, and I keep going and changing it. Okay, now something else. Or I'm like, you guys make no fucking sense. Like, YouTube, get it the f- together. Disney, stop. Like, it's just bullshit at this point.
Because that's what they did on my Mandalorian finale. Was the whole Luke scene? It was like this time gap or whatever. They pinpointed that, and I said, okay, great. Mute it or cut it. I think I just told YouTube to cut it out, and they cut it out, and then I let it sit there for like 3 hours to let YouTube cut my video for me.
Yeah,
it ended it, and I had 3 new claims instead. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And I had to go in and just re-edit it, export it, and upload it all again, and just take out a bunch of shit. And it was the most frustrating shit. So
I believe it's over YouTube, and that's why they do that shit. Okay, yeah, you want to dispute it. You're not gonna fucking hear anything back for God knows how long.
Never.
It's never gonna matter anyway, because the hype in your video is just gonna be shit.
Right.
So you might as well just fucking do what you can and keep going through the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, YouTube and Google is just so unhelpful.
Yeah.
Like, with just unless you're fucking 50 billion fucking subscribers, then they give a fuck about you.
Well, and not even that. It's like obviously you and I both. I wish that I had a ton of subscribers, because I see other people that they're like, hey, we watched WandaVision. It came out on Friday. We watched it. Our reaction will be up Sunday because it's been copyright blocked or whatever, and we have 2 days. We're gonna have 2 days of figuring this stuff out, but it'll be up on Sunday, and it'll go up, and they'll get a shit ton of views because people want to watch them.
That luxury, right?
And it's like it sucks because us little guys, we don't get shit like that, and I guess you could say work harder and get up there, but it's just frustrating because you and I both are in that realm of like being first is literally half the battle.
Right.
I mean,
and they just fucking watch the shit and not subscribe or do whatever. It's like, if you can watch it, subscribe. It's real simple.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a frustrating scenario because I'm somebody that personally, like, if I was watching somebody and then all of a sudden they were like, go to my Patreon to see the good one, I'd be furious. And so I hate that I am that person, but I'm in a situation where I cannot get one of these videos out without it being watermarked. And I literally have to pick and choose audio from I had to figure out a way to record myself with this microphone is on a different channel than my computer, and I can cut out things with keeping my voice in. So it's cool as shit, but I had to do all that because that first time that I did Mandalorian, it was a nightmare. That premiere of Mandalorian was terrible. So I hate it. This is on Disney, it's on YouTube. And I don't think they're gonna change, sadly. But
and it's like I can also help it a little bit because I can screen share the shit on here, StreamYards, but the bullshit is because it's so much fucking lagging.
Yeah.
After it progresses, the video starts getting late to the fucking movements of the mouth. So I'm here looking like I'm fucking, if something fucking great happens, the shit happens, and then 2 seconds later I'm like, oh shit. It's like, I'm like, I just don't want to do that with WandaVision. I'm like, so the whole process is such bullshit.
And like, I don't know if Akasan messaged you, but he had problems with his second episode.
Yeah,
so
he in the Discord.
Yeah, and he messaged me and was like, hey, any chance you have that? And I got it, hours later. And before he replied back, because I was like, yeah, I can get it for you. Like, I just clicked play and started recording it by itself so I could send it to him. And it's like, it's just because like that's a Disney Plus problem,
Yeah, it is. The fuck with me.
I know. So it sucks. This is why streaming sucks. This is why I wish that I could get Mandalorian on Blu-ray or these things on Blu-ray to where I can have no internet at the house. My whole internet everywhere could be knocked out, and I could still sit there and enjoy it. And I could throw it in my PlayStation and watch it on here or whatever I needed to do. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, but anyway, apologize for that rant, guys. But that's
WandaVision, guys. Fucking excited.
Yeah, fucking WandaVision. Yeah, A+. But but that's just the reality of the situation, guys. And we keep it real. I'm I'm gonna keep this shit real regardless of how it sounds. Because you guys also deserve that, and I'm just a real motherfucker. But
it's one of those things. I have people bring this up all the time to me, and they say, you know, hey, if you're gonna make a video and be negative about something, why'd you put it up? And I'm like, look, I make videos because I enjoy it.
Like, I goddamn want to.
And it's like, I'm not posting on YouTube to make money. If I was, like, it's not a smart thing to do, to go into it going like, I'm gonna make a living out of this, because like I'm gonna let that be my only chance is to survive, is to make it off YouTube, because you're gonna get fucked. You have to just enjoy this. I enjoy talking about everything that we've talked about today. That's why I'm doing it right here on this podcast, because it's fun. And so, like, is it work? Sure. Is it frustrating in a lot of ways when we start doing other things with reactions and Disney Plus and all that? Yes. But I do it because I enjoy it. And, you know, so it sucks because it's not about the money. But also, you know, when you sit there and watch something for 2 hours, and then you edit it for 3 hours, and then you put it up and it gets blocked.
Right. That's your whole fucking day. And
you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Worth of shit.
Yeah. So. And so it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I do it because I enjoy it. I do it for the people that like to watch me. It's a small number, but you know, that actually come around and watch every one of my videos. Very small number. But it's fun. Like, talking to them, talking with you is fucking fun. And I would do it whether I was filming it or not. So.
Right. So there you go. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it. That's going to wrap up our show on some real shit. But wrap nonetheless. I hope, well, first of all, thank you guys for joining us and tuning in. However long and however far you've gotten, thank you. Hopefully, if you like what you saw, you have been, subscribed. You are now a crime fighter. Hopefully, but if you haven't, still consider subscribing. Hit that button. It's real simple. And like I said, we have tons and tons and tons of content coming up and continuing here on the channel, as well as Logan's. So do yourself a favor. If you like entertainment, you like realness, you like fun, stick around. You will not regret it.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. But anyway, guys, thank you for stopping on by. It's your boy, Knight.
And I am Logan.
And we will see y'all in the cave. See y'all next week. Peace.
Later, guys.